Hi, this is Rene for EC Today, and I'm here with the Greek delegation. Hi, Mike and Loucas. You just had your first rehearsal. Were you fully satisfied?
Pretty much so. First of all, good to see you again.
Yeah.
And pretty much so, because the German organization is fantastic, and everything from the sound to the lights to everything has been very, very good. Obviously, there's always a few tweaks to do, because they see it for the first time as well on this stage. So they were extremely helpful in working with us towards tweaking it to perfection. So there are still things to do, but we are very happy.
So we saw a lot of fireworks and big pillars. Who came up with that idea?
We have a fantastic choreographer and director, Konstantinos Rigos, and we have Konstantinos Milonas from ERT.
Yeah.
And they've been working together fantastically. So fire, we always needed fire because it talks about fire, the song does in the chorus. I just love the way it hits on the Greek beat. It makes it very understandable visually. So it's a bit of a group effort.
Okay.
But I think it's really working.
You think it was quite hot on the stage?
Yeah.
Especially if you're standing on the edge. Yeah. I thought, is this a mistake or is this supposed to be this hot? It is supposed to be this hot, so we'll survive it.
Okay, so tell us something about your unique combination. Who brought you guys together, and how did you come up with the idea of the song?
Okay, the idea of the song was from George Liras, my manager, and you know, the idea was from the beginning to combine hip hop and folk music, and then he gave the idea to Yannis Christodouloulos, our composer, who wrote the music, and Elena Vrachali, who wrote the lyrics, and we're very grateful about this because Yannis and Elena are very famous in Greece, and this is an honor, unless to me, to collaborate with them. And after this creative of music, Yannis, Mr. Kokinos, our producer in EMI, tell us about Trail Mike to be part in the song. Yannis put the song in Skype through from his Athens studio to London studio, and I think that maybe he liked it.
Well, I definitely did. I want to thank Yannis for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm a Greek who lives outside of Greece.
Tell him. Thank him.
So, well, he knows. I want to thank him on air, is what I'm saying. Yannis knows that. But I want to thank him for a couple of reasons. The one really important one is that I also live outside of Greece.
Yeah.
And the echo of real Greek music, real folk, the sound of bouzouki, the 9/8 or 9/4 rhythm, is something that kind of makes you really homesick in a good way. It makes you really feel all that power that Greek music has. Even though I'm associated with modern music and hip hop music, there's a very similar power to the realness of lyrics. So when he played me that, I was a bit so and so about committing to the Eurovision because my scene is not normally associated with it. When I heard the song, I had goosebumps and I was touched, and I thought, definitely. I'm proud to go to the Eurovision with something like this. Second thing, he made us good mates because he introduced us through the song.
Yeah.
So he introduced two friends as well as two vocalists, I suppose.
Okay. During the press conference, you said you consider your participation as a next step for your career. You know, you've done X Factor. You've had a bigger career already, I think longer career. So how do you consider this participation in Eurovision? What does it mean for you?
Definitely, I wouldn't say bigger. I'd say maybe longer because I'm older.
Yeah.
But
A little bit.
a little bit older.
Some decades.
7 days older.
Not quite. But in this sense, I mean, I really see the music trip of one's life as a trip. It's something that always moves forward, and you gotta make decisions using the only compass that I know, which is your soul, your heart. So, and your ears, which is your connection to it. Yeah. So, if you hear something that touches you and it's real, and it basically sums you up as a person, then you should do it. So it's definitely brought me to a very huge stage. And I'm very grateful for that. But I also see it as another stop along the way. I know I'm going to be making music always. So I'm grateful, but also I'm not losing the focus that is writing music, performing music, and keep on going. Yeah. But it's also a real pleasure to work with somebody like Loucas, because another big part of what I heard was his performance on the chorus.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the goosebumps. So I think he's younger, but he's a fantastic performer. Somebody who can touch you in the soul. So
Well, it shows on stage as well that there's a click. So that makes me want to know, what are your plans for after Eurovision? Are you planning to continue working together?
I'm going to release my album with EMI on September. I'll try it.
Yeah.
And I ask and I suggest to Mike to be a part of my CD as a producer or as a performer.
Okay.
And I think
Maybe
he
both.
said no.
Well, yeah, I want him to get a bit older and shorter, you
Yeah.
know, because he's so tall. And he makes me look even shorter. No, the real answer has always been yes. Or, well, we had this discussion actually on air first time on London Greek radio. And I was thinking about it, he had been thinking about it. And then we both talked about it on air, and we were both
Yeah.
quite excited on air. I've collaborated with a lot of different styles of music. I like my hip-hop quite open-minded, and I love good vocalists, you know, people who put soul into the lyrics, and he's one of them, and we're going to be doing a lot more things together, for
Great.
sure.
And Loucas, you're from Cyprus.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird to represent a different country than your own home country?
You know, the proposition for Eurovision came from EMI, American company, and it was just for Greece. Because, you know, my first step, as I said, X Factor was in Greece.
Yeah.
And I think the proposition, it was about Greece. And I said yes.
Okay.
I didn't have a proposition from Cyprus.
But you didn't get angry letters from people from Cyprus?
Quite the opposite, actually.
No, quite the opposite.
Okay.
Because the Cypriot guys are too proud of a Cypriot guy represent Greece in Eurovision.
Okay.
Yeah.
To convince our viewers to vote for Greece this year, is it possible to sing a small part of the chorus?
Yeah, of course.
Here, take the mic.
There we go.
Thank you. Θες να πεις και εσύ το κουπλέ?
Πήγαινε με το ρεφρέν, σου ζήτησε το.
Okay. Την έχει η ψυχή μου τη φωτιά, τους φόβους όλους και η μοναδικά, τα βήματα μου κάνω στο Θεό, κι αν πέσω εγώ ξανά θα σηκωθώ.
Great. Thanks a lot, and all the best for all of you in the Eurovision this year.
Thank you very much. All the best to all participants. And
Good luck to everyone.
really hope you vote for Greece. Thank you.
Okay.